accessing data from a file. A file is consists of some kind of data, right? There it has a lot of information inside, and you need to pull that information every now and then. Now that file could be any file. That could be application file, database file, a simple text file, a log file, or any kind of file that you try to retrieve some data, massage the data, and you want to view it the way you want to. Now, you could do that manually by running commands, adding commands here and there every day. But of course, if you are doing that changing of data or running those commands every day, then this task doing it manual become tedious. So the best thing to do is to automate that. And the way you automate it, you actually create a shell script to do that. So in this lesson, we are going to create the first script that will pull errors, failures, or warnings, or any kind of information that you want to pull from a file. So most likely we will be using like our log messaging file, which is a huge file which gets which actually logs all the error messages or warnings or failures or many other system related messages in a file. But sometimes when you want to view that file, you don't want to go through all that stuff, that informational stuff, or something that is not related or is not actually what you're looking for. So this is the first script that we'll go into, and we'll create a script. The second script that I wanted to cover is when you actually have some of the administrative commands that you run, and then you want to change the output of the file and perhaps output to a different file. So this way, every time you come in, it's viewable by you, and whenever you run the command. So let's look at our first script. I'm going to log into my Linux machine through the PuTTY client. I'm logged in as myself, and I am in my home directory. Now I want you to copy var log messages from var log to your current directory. Now, what is your current directory? Your current directory is home ifsol. Now, I want you to go ahead and create a new directory and call it professional scripts. This is the name you have chosen, where we will add all our newly created scripts into this directory. And when I do ls-ltr, you'll see at the bottom it has that directory. Now I wanted to copy var log messages file into my current directory, and that would be dot. When you hit enter, okay, you say it's coming up as permission denied. Why? Because var log messages file is owned by root, and it is not it does not have read permission for anyone else. So what we will do is we'll become root, and now I will copy var log messages sorry, I'm doing cd var log messages to my home directory, and from there I will copy it to professional scripts. Now it is copied. Now let's go to my home ifsol professional scripts directory, and let's see, the file is there. Okay, good. So now in order for me to read that file, it should have the read permissions right here. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and first of all I'll change the ownership of the file, chmod ifsol messages, and well, okay, I think it's change mod messages file to ifsol. Oh no, sorry, I'm using change mod. It has to be change ownership because we are changing the ownership. Okay, it is changed. Now you'll see, let me make this a little bigger. Now you will see this file, messages file, is owned by ifsol. Now I'm going to change the group as well. So change group ifsol to messages. And now you will see I should be able to read this file. So I could have assigned the read permissions right here with change mod, or I just have given the ownership. I changed the ownership to ifsol. So now I could exit out of root. Now which directory I'm in? I am in /home ifsol, and I'm going to go into my professional scripts directory, ls-ltr, and there it has the messages file. Now to make sure I could read it, I could just simply cat the messages file just to make sure I could read it. Yes, I could read that. Let's clear the screen. Now I'm going to create a first script. I'm going to call pull data. If you are using different scripting as well, I'll put .bash here, but I'll just leave pull data. Hit enter. Now what do you do first thing? You give the correct shell script. Sorry, the shell, which has been bash. Next, you put the author, date, 08/08/2020, description. This script will pull only error messages from var log messages. You could directly pull those messages, but you have to be root. But since we are not root, it's just the example that I'm giving. We copied the messages file in our local in our home directory, and modified. If it is modified, since we are creating it for the first time, we'll leave the same date. Okay, so our basic things are done. Shell is defined. The comments are defined. Now, what are exactly we doing? We wanted to pull only error messages from the messages file. We don't want to view anything. So to do that, we'll have to do grep, because we are grepping for error messages. -I is to ignore lowercase or uppercase error. From where? I would always specify the absolute path. You don't want to specify the relative path, because if you're running from another directory, the same script will fail. ifsol professional scripts. So for now, just run that and just make sure if it works. So control quit, right quick, enter. Now the next thing you have to do is give executable permission to pull data, ls-ltr, and you'll see our first script is created. So when I run that pull data, it says grep home ifsol is a directory, because we did not specify the file. We need to go in one step inside. So pull data, and we are actually trying to grep for errors from directory. So of course there is no such thing as a directory doesn't have the data. Directory only has files. So we'll put messages here. Okay. Now when we run this script, it is giving us only the error messages. All the lines inside of that var log messaging file, I'm only getting the error messages. Now, you're probably thinking, why do I need just error messages? Well, if you are in corporate environment, trust me, you're gonna be troubleshooting system related, application related so many times that you would have to go into the log files and look for error messages that where it failed. So you could go through one line by line by line, which is going to take you forever, or you could just simply filter out for error messages, and then you will get right to the point that why and how it is failing. Now there are some failed messages right here. Of course, we are not troubleshooting these failed messages, but it's just an example that I'm giving. Now, every time you come in, you log into your system, your manager or your someone from the development team or someone will say, hey, I'm getting error message from this system, or system is running slow, or this application is failing or something. So you just, all you have to do is run the script and see what are those error messages for. So what I will do at this point, I will, instead of do pull data, I will rename this file to move pull data to pull errors. So this way it is specific to the data or the words that we are trying to pull. So let's run again, pull errors. And now we have all the errors. Similarly, if we want to pull all the warning messages, we could do the same thing, but instead of recreating a new script, what I will do is I'll copy pull data, or sorry, pull errors, and I'll name it pull warning. So now I have two scripts. One is pull errors and the other one is pull warnings, but now both are same. So I have to go into the pull warn script, and I'll have to, instead of error, I'll put in warn. Okay, now save it. Now let's run pull warn now, and you will see we have a lot of warning signs in the system. What's going on? See right here's warning application, genome settings killed by signal 5, or any of the things that happen with your application or your system, it will be logged here. Now the last one I will do is, let's copy it again, pull warn. I will do pull fail. Okay, now I'll go into fail script again. Instead of warn, I'll just do fail. Now I have three scripts to verify it. There you go. The last one is pull fail. So let's run pull fail. And now it's only giving me failed related lines. Anything that has fail in the line, I will only get that. Now you could also leave it as is right now if you want to, but most of the time what people do is they output this to another file. So this way they could easily manipulate the text inside of that file instead of just going into the var log messages. So how that is done, you could just, let's go back to our first script, which is pull error. And here I will go grep -I error, and I will output to my home directory, and this is the directory. And now I will name the output of the script as output error. If you notice, I have two slashes here, so I'm going to get rid of one. So now let's run it. Now this time when you run it, it is not going to show you all those error messages on the screen. Instead, it is going to push out all the messages that came with the word error. It's going to go into a file that we just specified. So let's run pull error. And you see you got your prompt back. So it doesn't mean it didn't run. It did run, but it has created a file that you wanted to create. There you go. See, output error. So now you could just simply cat out this output error file and read through it. The same way you could do it with fail, the same way you could do with warning, if you want to. Now, also what happened is, which I will also cover later on, that many system administrators, what they do is they schedule this type of scripts in cron job. They tell the cron job, run the script at certain time of the day, and when you come in, all you have to do is view that file. That's one step further. Now, if you want to take it another step further, what it will do is it will not only run the script, it will also send the output of the script, which is the output dash error file, through your email, through the send mail protocol, which is one of the best ways you could do that. When you come into your office in the morning, and the first thing you do, you open up your email and you say, hey, I got these emails and alerts that saying I had these type of error messages. So this is about creating or pulling data from files. You could also modify it in terms of, if you wanted to just see the number of warnings, you could just do pull warning. So you see, when you run it, you get all those messages. Now you could use your own script and combine it with operating system commands to view or to change the output of the script. So if you wanted to see how many warning messages or lines we have when we grep for warning, you could just do pipe wc minus l, and you'll see there are a total of 46 warning messages. This shows that since we have the system, we have 46 warning messages that came in. You could be more specific. So if you wanted to just do grep and code, and you just wanted to do August 27th, then it will only pull August 27th warning messages. And how many we have for August 27th? We have 46. So basically, all those messages that I have came in today. Anyway, so this is how you pull data. This is how you modify. The second script I wanted to go over is a script that will format the output of the administrative commands. Let's do the administrative commands. First, I'm going to create a new script called admin commands and hit enter. And I will go through again because this is something that you really need to know. Author, date, description of the script, format the output of admin commands, and the last one is modified. Please don't get annoyed by this because I'm keep typing that. The reason I do that is because I really want you to get in the habit of doing that. This shows that you are an organized engineer or administrator who actually organizes his or her scripts and put all the scripts in the right way. So 2020. Okay, now what are other commands that we want to do? Let's do some administrative commands like date, uptime, and df minus h. So let's say if I wanted to do that, and let's say we run it. Before we run it, we have to give executable permissions. And now when we run it, you'll see I have the date right here, the uptime, and the df minus k. Now, when I mean to format the output, you could do that by either you run the script and format it in a way like, let's say, if you only wanted to view the first column of your script, then you will only see like Monday, the date of the uptime and file systems are. That's if you want to change the format after you run the script. Or you could go into the script is vi admin commands, and you could go into date and you could do awk print $1. Uptime, you could do awk print dollar, let's say 3. And for the df minus h, we'll just grep for root. So this is how we change the output of the command. So now when we run it, you'll see the first column, it gave us Monday. The second column is the date. And the third is df minus h. I just wanted to know only the root partition, how much disk space I have, how much I have left. I don't care for other file system. So this is how you could make changes to it. Same way, there are so many commands that we learned earlier. If you wanted to change the admin commands and you wanted to format it, you could try it with different commands. And this is how basically we could access the data from a file.